I now yield the floor to the Secretary-General of the United Nations, His Excellency Antonio Guterres, so that he may brief the Assembly on his priorities. Honorable Presidents, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with profound respect and great pride that I address you today at this extraordinary moment in history, at this United Nations Assembly. I salute President Ibrahim Captain Traoré of Burkina Faso, as leaders from every corner of the globe have gathered to deliberate on the pressing issues of our time. This is a moment marked not merely by challenges, but by the extraordinary determination, vision, and courage of leaders such as Ibrahim Traoré, whose revolutionary spirit has captured the world's attention. The resilience of the people of Burkina Faso and his leadership are an inspiration to us all. Today, I wish to speak not only of the leader but of a movement, a revolution of courage, values, and unyielding resolve. The revolution Ibrahim Traoré has led is not simply one of political change. It is a revolution of ambition, of ideas, and of deep respect for the inherent dignity of all people. This is a revolution that seeks to lift up the people of Burkina Faso, to reinstate their sovereignty, to restore their pride, and to place their future firmly within their own hands. When we consider revolution, we often think of it in terms of conflict, of the dismantling of old structures. But Ibrahim Traoré has demonstrated that revolution can also be about creation, about building new opportunities, and about reclaiming the space for a nation to chart its own independent course. It is about the courage to confront internal challenges, corruption, inequality, the forces that seek to undermine the people's strength, as well as external threats. This is what we see in Burkina Faso today, a nation standing up, a nation determined to shape its destiny, a nation willing to face its problems head-on and build a new future for its people. Ibrahim Traoré has embodied this spirit. He has assumed the monumental responsibility of guiding his nation through one of its most difficult periods, facing threats from terrorism and internal challenges from years of instability. Yet, despite these hardships, he has remained unyielding, driven by an unshakable belief in the potential of his people. The journey of Burkina Faso under Ibrahim Traoré's leadership is not one of despair, but one of hope, renewal, and transformation. We have all witnessed the courage of the Burkinabe people, who have remained resilient in the face of adversity, who have continued to fight for their right to live in prosperity, peace, and dignity. And it is precisely this resilience that forms the bedrock of the revolution Ibrahim Traoré is leading. What is most impressive about Ibrahim Traoré's leadership is not only the courage he has shown in difficult circumstances, but the vision he presents. His approach extends beyond the mere defense of sovereignty. It is about the empowerment of the people and the restoration of dignity, ensuring every Burkinabe has the opportunity to thrive, to learn, to grow, and to participate in their nation's future. In his revolution, Traoré has made it clear that the future of Burkina Faso is one of self-reliance, not dependency. His vision calls for the revitalization of education, the empowerment of youth, the development of infrastructure, and the improvement of healthcare. His focus on creating opportunities for the younger generation, who will inherit this revolution's legacy, is a testament to his deep sense of responsibility toward future generations and his long-term thinking. What Ibrahim Traoré is building in Burkina Faso is not just a political project. It is an economic project, a social project, and a cultural project. It is a project that seeks to reshape society's very foundations, where every citizen has a stake in the future. And at the heart of this vision lies a deep respect for African values, the values of community, solidarity, and collective progress. These values are embedded in the very fabric of African societies, and they are the key to unlocking the continent's immense potential. It is crucial to recognize that the revolution in Burkina Faso is not occurring in isolation. It is part of a larger movement across the African continent where leaders like Ibrahim Traoré are rejecting the old paradigms, challenging the shackles of colonial history, and asserting the right to self-determination. Africa is rising. The people of Africa are speaking loudly and clearly. They are demanding the respect and recognition they deserve, and they are taking charge of their own futures. For centuries, the African continent has been subjected to external pressures, interference, and exploitation. African nations have struggled to carve out their place in a world that has too often ignored their voices, needs, and aspirations. But now we are witnessing a shift, a change in how Africa is positioning itself in the world. A new generation of African leaders is standing tall, leading with vision and courage, and demonstrating that Africa's future will be shaped by Africans themselves. Ibrahim Traoré's revolution is a powerful expression of this shift. It is a statement that Africa will no longer be passive, no longer at the mercy of external forces. Africa is moving forward with confidence, determination, and a clear sense of purpose. This is a revolution that calls for a reimagining of the African experience, one centered on African identity, African values, and African solutions to African problems. This is not a call for isolation, but for empowerment. Africa's revolution is not about rejecting the world. It is about engaging with the world on its own terms. It is about forging new partnerships and creating new opportunities for collaboration, for investment, and for trade. But it is also about ensuring these partnerships are equitable, that Africa's voice is heard, and that African nations are no longer relegated to the margins of global decision-making. In praising Ibrahim Traoré, we are not only acknowledging his leadership, we are acknowledging the leadership of Africa as a whole. We are recognizing the incredible potential that resides on this continent, the potential for innovation, for growth, for cultural exchange, and for lasting peace. Africa is not a continent defined by its challenges. It is a continent defined by its creativity, its resilience, and its capacity for transformation. The people of Africa, from Cairo to Cape Town, from Dakar to Addis Ababa, have shown time and again that they possess the strength to overcome adversity and the determination to build a better future. Whether in technology, agriculture, governance, or education, Africa is making strides in every area of human endeavor. And it is the vision of leaders like Ibrahim Traoré that will help to unlock the continent's full potential. We must also recognize that the revolution Traoré is leading is not just for Burkina Faso. It is a revolution that speaks to the wider African experience. It is a call for greater unity, for the promotion of peace and security across the continent, and for the strengthening of African institutions. It is a call for solidarity, for working together to address common challenges, and for building a future rooted in the values of equity, justice, and opportunity. At the United Nations, we understand the importance of these principles. We understand that the future of the world depends on the success of these movements, on the success of Africa's rise, and it is our responsibility to support them, to stand in solidarity with the people of Burkina Faso and with the people of Africa. It is our duty to ensure the African voice is heard, that African solutions are supported, and that Africa is given the space it deserves to shape its own future. In conclusion, I want to reaffirm my admiration for the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, for the resilience of the Burkinabe people, and for the vision and strength of Africa as a whole. The revolution taking place in Burkina Faso is not just a political transformation. It is an economic, social, and cultural awakening that has the potential to change the course of history. And it is a revolution deeply rooted in the values of self-determination, unity, and respect for the dignity of every person. The world is watching, and the world stands with you. Burkina Faso, Africa, and the people who inhabit this great continent have a bright future ahead. It is a future that will be shaped by your determination, by your courage, and by your vision. The leadership of Ibrahim Traoré stands as a beacon of hope and transformation for Burkina Faso, representing a revolution not merely of political change, but of profound values, courage, and a deep commitment to self-determination. His leadership has ignited a movement that transcends traditional political reforms, focusing on uplifting the people, empowering the next generation to shape their own future, and revitalizing critical sectors of the economy. This is a leadership model rooted in the belief that true transformation begins from within, starting with the people themselves and their capacity to determine their destiny. For Traoré, the revolution is about restoring control, dignity, and pride to the people of Burkina Faso. For far too long, numerous African nations, Burkina Faso among them, have faced external pressures. These come from former colonial powers, global financial institutions, or geopolitical forces that frequently do not prioritize the best interests of the local populace. The vision of Ibrahim Traoré seeks to break free from this very dependency, aiming to construct a nation capable of standing on its own, without the need for foreign aid or interference. While this is no simple task, it remains one that is absolutely essential for the long-term stability and prosperity of Burkina Faso. True independence, Traoré understands, arrives not through political sovereignty alone, but through achieving economic, social, and cultural self-sufficiency. A primary area of focus for Traoré has been the revitalization of education. The cornerstone of any nation's future is education, and the vision for a self-reliant Burkina Faso starts with the empowerment of its youth. The aim is to create a generation of skilled, educated, and innovative individuals who can lead across various sectors by investing in schools, universities, and vocational training programs. The importance of education cannot be overstated, particularly in a nation where a significant portion of the population is young. Traoré's leadership recognizes that meaningful progress is impossible without providing quality education to the youth, and without progress, true sovereignty can never be achieved. Healthcare is another critical area upon which Ibrahim Traoré has placed significant focus. Fundamental to the nation's growth and stability is the health and well-being of the people of Burkina Faso. Access to quality healthcare services has been a long-standing challenge in many parts of the country, especially in rural regions where resources are scarce. Reforms in the healthcare system have been pushed to ensure every citizen, no matter where they live, can access basic medical care. This involves expanding healthcare infrastructure, improving care quality, and making it more affordable for ordinary people. During times of crisis, such as the ongoing challenges posed by infectious diseases and resource shortages in remote areas, the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré has been pivotal in prioritizing the people's health above all else. Alongside healthcare and education, Traoré has also set his sights on the country's infrastructure. The backbone of any thriving economy is a strong, well-developed infrastructure, and it is essential for connecting services, goods, and people across the nation. However, inadequate infrastructure has long hampered economic growth and limited access to essential services in many regions of Burkina Faso. To address these gaps, Ibrahim Traoré has been working tirelessly by investing in roads, transportation systems, energy production, and communication networks. These developments are about more than just physical construction. They represent the building blocks of a prosperous, self-reliant nation that can better withstand external shocks and integrate more fully within regional and global markets. A critical component of Ibrahim Traoré's leadership is his commitment to generating opportunities for the youth. In Burkina Faso, as in many parts of Africa, the youth are the driving force behind the country's future, with a large percentage of the population under 25. It is crucial that they are equipped with the resources, opportunities, and skills to succeed. Traoré understands that if the youth are given the tools to succeed, it will be they who lead the nation into a new era of prosperity. His administration has dedicated itself to creating more job opportunities, encouraging innovation, and supporting entrepreneurship. The goal is to provide young people with pathways to economic empowerment, whether through agricultural development, small businesses, or the growing technology sector, which in turn strengthens the entire country. The leadership of Ibrahim Traoré is a call to action for a future where the people of Burkina Faso are empowered to control their own destiny, no longer at the mercy of external forces. His vision is one of long-term self-reliance, and he understands that true independence is not a fleeting achievement, but a continual process demanding the active participation of every citizen. This vision is not only about economic progress, but also about the cultural revival of the nation, where people take pride in their heritage, their traditions, and their collective capacity to shape their destiny. Through his leadership, Ibrahim Traoré is transforming Burkina Faso into a model of what is possible when a nation dares to break free from the chains of dependence and sets its sights on a brighter, more equitable future. It is a future where the people are active participants in their nation's growth, not merely recipients of aid. It is a future where collective empowerment, national pride, and self-reliance are the driving forces of progress. In this vision, every Burkinabe has a stake in the nation's success, and together they can build a country that is prosperous, resilient, and proud of its place in the world. The leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, with its focus on infrastructure, healthcare, education, and youth empowerment, represents not only a political revolution, but a social and cultural awakening. His commitment to empowering the people of Burkina Faso and providing them with the tools they need to succeed is a legacy that will endure for generations to come. Through his leadership and vision, the future of Burkina Faso looks brighter than ever before, and it stands as a model for self-determined growth for all nations striving for true independence and lasting prosperity. The revolution led by Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso is not an isolated event. He is part of a broader, growing movement across the African continent where nations are rising with a renewed sense of self-determination, confidence, and purpose. In recent years, many African leaders, Traoré included, have taken a bold stand to reject the old paradigms of dependence, exploitation, and external interference. These leaders are asserting the right of their peoples and nations to determine their own futures, free from the shadows of colonialism, neo-colonialism, and foreign control. This is a movement that seeks to redefine the African experience and ensure that Africa's destiny is shaped by Africans themselves. The African continent has long been subjected to external forces that have sought to exploit its resources, impose foreign systems and policies, and undermine its sovereignty, whether through colonial domination, unfair trade practices, or the imposition of foreign aid models that do not align with the needs of African people. However, a shift in this narrative is what we are witnessing today. Leaders like Ibrahim Traoré are leading the charge in demanding a future where Africa can engage with the world on its own terms by rejecting this exploitation. This movement is rooted in the belief that Africa possesses the resources and the potential to achieve greatness. The continent is home to a dynamic and young population, a wealth of natural resources, and a rich cultural heritage. Yet, for far too long, Africa has been relegated to the periphery of global decision-making, and its potential has been underutilized. What Traoré and other African leaders are emphasizing is that the time has come for Africa to reclaim its position at the center of global affairs, not as a passive recipient of aid or charity, but as an active participant in shaping the world's future.